On the SCU6x, we have these two buttons which say sensor 1 and sensor 2. And essentially what it is that these allow us to configure our sensors however way we want. Our sensors are one-sided, which means that we could have the web come in from either direction, and this is what we call as a sensor orientation. So it could come from this way, where it's coming from the right to left, or it comes from left to right. So our controller can handle either of those conditions. We just need to be able to tell it how to do it. For all our sensors, the orientation is defined this way. For the 48mm sensor, there's actually a label that says left and right. So if you look here, you would see that there is a right and a left indication. That means that if I present a web and I see that left label, that means we are looking at the left edge of the web. If we come this way, we're looking at the right edge of the web, and that's how we know the orientation for the 48mm sensors. For anything from 96 to 960, the orientation is this way. Where that cable comes out, that is going to be our right, and where the cable is not present, that's going to be our left. So this region is going to be our right, and this region is going to be our left. So if we present the web and we see the left edge, like what I'm showing here, so that's going to be configured as a left edge orientation. And if we present the web like this, where we're looking at the right edge of the web, then that's going to be the right edge. So these bars, these green squares, are indicating how that particular sensor is configured. If you press that once, it's going to toggle between the states. I'll do that again. So the four states that are available are no sensor, which is what this is. Both those LEDs are turned off. If I press it once, sensor 1 is configured as left sensor, and that's what this is. And if I press it another time, it will go to center sensor, which means that you have both edges of the web. If I press it one more time, it's going to go to the right sensor. And if I press it one more time, I can disable the sensor altogether. So that's what that button is allowing us to do, is to configure the orientation of the sensor whenever we press that button. One key thing to note is that if we have this sensor cable disconnected, then this button will only have two states. One is enable and the other one is disable. Because it's either enables the sensor or disables the sensor, the controller automatically knows that there's no sensor connected to it, so it's not going to toggle between the states. It's just going to enable it and disable it. So when I reconnect this back in, then we have the ability to get all four states. Right now the sensor is disabled. I have it connected. Now it can go to the left sensor, center sensor, right, and disable. Likewise, you can do the same thing for the sensor 2. And for now, I'm going to disable both sensors and just enable the right sensor as left edge. The sensor button allows the operator to go from one state to another state.